Yeah.
My shoes will put my foot on something.
See you later, Steve. All right, are we good to get started here?
So,
All right, sounds good. We will call this meeting to order at 5:01 p.m. here. Zoom information item A, I can personally verify that that worked on my end. Looks like we have some other folks in the call here on the Zoom. Item B, roll call. Chair Seth, I am here. Vice Chair Ned.
Present.
Jenny Brinker.
she will be late.
She will be late. Amy Cox.
I'm here.
Corey Mim.
Present.
Julia Nordyke.
Here.
Mark Walter.
Here.
Alder Joey Presley.
Here.
And Krista is excused. We'll move on to approval of the agenda for today's meeting. We've got a quick one, July 17th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
And that was Mark Walter, I think. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ned. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. All right, and on to approval of the minutes from our last meeting on June 26. Is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Was that Alder Joey?
Yep.
All right, good deal. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Amy. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say no. All right, that passes. And we do not have anything in regular business here, but we have just a few informational updates. Item 1, work group reports.
I didn't receive anything official from any of the work groups, but I was hoping that we could just kind of go through. And, since we have Alder Presley is new on for the commission, and then next month we'll be having another new member go through who's on which work groups, which ones are going to be active, because we may have, there might be room for our newer members. So Seth, I don't know if you have those work groups memorized, or Ned, if you would be that person, or if everyone just kind of wants to go around and say what work group you're currently involved with, that would be helpful.
Yeah, sure. Do we want to just go work group by work group? We can start with the clean energy one. I will not be on that one anymore, but that is Krista and Jenny. So we'll have another spot there. Julia, do you want to talk about the green infrastructure resilience one?
Sure. Do you want me to give an update too? Or
If you've got an update, sure.
okay, sure. It's a brief announcement, I guess. I think it's called the Climate Resilience Work Group, if I'm remembering.
Sounds about right.
That's right. Okay. And mostly it's focused on some of the green infrastructure stuff, and also green stormwater infrastructure and flood resiliency. And I guess one just exciting announcement aside is that yesterday I was able to host the governor on a tour on the East River, and that was extremely exciting about flood resiliency on the East River with the East River Collaborative. And Melissa came and spoke and introduced their flood mitigation project that was passed by council, or to move on to the engineering design. And then Dan Ditchite was there to talk a little bit about the East River recreational trail flood resiliency project going on. So that was really cool. And we were at Van Beaver Park, and it was a beautiful day. And we went to look at the beautiful river and the native pollinator plantings. Great blue heron flew over, and then as we were talking,
It was very, like, all the stars were in alignment.
and then we had other municipalities there. One from Alloway and then also the Village of Bellevue. And when they talked about the East River recreational trail and a water trail being formed, a kayaker paddled by. So it was good.
And besides yourself, who else is on that work group? For.
No one right now. I think Krista offered a while back, but then it never materialized and then she moved on to the clean energy. So. And Mark originally volunteered years ago, but
Me, Mark, or Mark?
Mark Walter. Oh, and then, the one reason we were at Bamboo, because we're starting a new project, this next year, working with residents. So we have been partnering with Extension, UW Extension and Wello, to work specifically with the flood affected residents on the East River. So.
When you say we, do you mean the East River Collaborative?
Yes. So, we're specifically working with like the underserved neighborhoods, so, which extends beyond Green Bay to Alloway and maybe Bellevue.
Ned, would you like to go next?
Sure. So, the work group that I'm involved with is the Healthy Habitat for All work group. Some of the things that we have focused on over the years have been the Pollinator Corridor Project, which is creating native plant islands basically throughout the city and beyond even for our pollinators to stop and fuel up basically and complete the life cycle. So that's been going great. This year it just kind of exploded with the addition of Maria Otto's work and her crew on the Green Bay Conservation Corps, where, you know, we'd put in a few dozen every year. Well, now it's like they put in 50,000 this year or something incredible. So I'm just really happy about where that's gone over the years. Some of the other things that have come out of kind of our arena have been the No Mow May proposal, the pesticide ordinance, or not ordinance, it's a policy. And what else have we worked on? Creating a map of restored areas and new plantings. What else? Oh, doing some kind of exploration on a native plants first policy. And I know, Melissa, you spoke a little bit to that recently, that there is some language somewhere. But you know, that's kind of one of our stated goals, is to see if we can get the city to commit in writing to using native plants as kind of the first option. So yeah, a lot of planting and like I said, we did the pesticide one too, so the kind of chemicals as well. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun to work on.
And the official name of that work group is Healthy Habitats for All, correct?
Correct. Yeah, we used to just call it the Pollinator Corridor, but it's more expansive than that. So it's Healthy Habitat for All.
Looks like there are two people in the waiting.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, did somebody have a question? I couldn't hear.
No, there's people in the waiting room and I wasn't aware of it.
Oh, got it.
Okay. Who would like to go next?
Going down through the work program. I'm next. I pulled it up.
Thanks.
And I am in charge of the waste reduction work group that I'm sorry to say really hasn't taken off yet. A lot of ideas, but not going anywhere yet at this point still. the main goal would be though to reduce the amount of organics going into landfill. Through and amount of weight, advocate for waste reduction.
Sorry about that, I was remoting in to get.
Yeah, there's a lot of work. It would involve a lot of time from, unfortunately, a lot of time with city staff that I just hasn't been something that I've been able to work on, coordinate at this point. Once I retire, I'll have all this time on my hands to be able to do things. Not too,
Is there anyone else on that work group with you?
no,
Okay,
there hasn't.
okay. And Ned, is there anyone besides yourself in your work group?
Yeah, Corey does a lot of work in that arena too.
I'm putting these in the minutes as far as and that will kind of help us see like maybe which work groups could use an additional person.
Sure.
Okay. Corey,
Yeah, I can't pull up the work plan, but I can tell you what I know. We're the marketing and public outreach work group, and Alder was a part of that work group, but is no longer. Although he did say he would help with things over time, so we'll see how that pans out. But then Julia is also a member, and the focus with that is really kind of to be the outreach sort of for our work or for our whole commission, in that we want to kind of the outreach portion, like helping people to understand what we are, what we do as a commission, and then looking to kind of be a resource for catch-all for all things sustainable within the city. So when people are looking for information, we're hoping to kind of help to streamline that process for folks. And so we do things like attend events, tabled events and things like we've done the Levitt event and
that only
yeah,
event
at the library. And so I'd say in general, that's it. Am I missing anything that?
I think the other main goal is to promote great sustainability efforts, specifically City of Green Bay sustainability efforts, projects and things like
Yes, right,
Which
and to
is-
maybe,
not as well done with capacity.
Right.
Levels.
and to try to leverage support, you know,
Yeah.
like for the projects that we're working on,
Mhm.
such as like the stormwater project at
Right.
Emily and things
Sure.
like that.
Or like the rain barrel program, letting people know that we had a rain barrel, the giveaway and things like that.
Right. And then collaborating with the departments throughout the city to
Mhm.
make that happen, because the sustainable projects and things reach beyond just parks and DPW and
Exactly.
into planning and,
Mhm.
you know, that type of thing, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are there other work groups that we haven't covered? Did you have the work group that plans?
Yeah, clean energy,
Okay.
climate resilience and adaptation.
No, I think that sounds
That's-
old.
This is actually our,
I think I took out adaptation.
okay, because this was from 3/3 of 24.
Okay,
But, all right, so.
Yeah, with climate resilience.
Okay. that's fine.
Healthy habitat for all, waste reduction, and the last one was marketing public outreach.
Got it. Okay.
Or was.
What?
Wait.
Great. Well, if there's people that want to be a part of a work group, after Seth's departure, the commission will need to elect a new chair. And so that would probably, be one of the first orders of business under a new chair is just re-examining the work groups and people want to switch or they, have interest of participating on a work group. If you're currently not working on a work group, those are all things to think about.
All right, anything else on this item? Otherwise, we can move on to resiliency coordinator report.
So just a few updates. Julie already touched on one of them, but the Emily Park Flood Resiliency, we had a nice, we had the attention of the governor yesterday and Wisconsin Coastal Management Program at Van Beaver Park, and we talked about a lot of different resiliency efforts that are going on in the area and really the importance of collaboration and how the East River Collaborative is really helping facilitate so much of that in our area. So that was really positive. We're looking at the city staff or we're looking at different funding mechanisms to do the flood resiliency at Emily Park. So if, as a commission, if you have other ideas, please let me know what those grant opportunities might be. But, this is going to be a project that really has multiple benefits, other than besides flood mitigation. It will also have a lot of environmental benefits and habitat restoration benefits, migratory birds, waterfowl, habitat for amphibians. There'll be a lot of other and pollinator habitat as well, and potentially different types of recreational opportunities. So I think we're really well positioned to apply for different types of grants to leverage different funders that would be interested in that type of project. So that's the main thing. And then on the clean energy, with some of the clean energy work, this is more of an internal thing, but we're in the beginning of forming an internal staff sustainability team that's really going to focus on some of the clean energy initiatives for implementation. That'll probably be the initial focus, at least initially. So that is just starting out, nothing official yet. And then we're also, myself, along with people from the finance department and purchasing, are putting together a framework for all the departments to follow, so that we're all on the same page as a city for applying for the direct and the elective pay credits through the Inflation Reduction Act for all of the different projects that we will eventually have, whether it's clean alternative fuel vehicles, renewable energy efficiency improvements, so that we have a streamlined process for doing that, and so that we're not missing out on anything. So that's another big update. Yeah, so those are the main things. Our clean energy connector is doing a lot of canvassing right now with Wisconsin conservation voters, and he tells me, Seth, that they're already almost halfway through, or the second round of knocking on doors in Green Bay. So the canvassing efforts will be concluding in another week or two, maybe?
In the end of July, but City of Green Bay might wrap up a little bit sooner, but we'll be knocking in the surrounding areas out of that office until the end of July.
So we're hoping to get a lot of leads through that canvassing effort that Alex can then follow up with after the canvassing is done, for following up with residents that have specific questions on what they can do in their homes. So, yeah. So that's all I have. Did anyone have questions?
Melissa, did you say you were looking for Sustainability Commission members to help with some of that East River work?
Not yet. My ask was, if you learn about various grant opportunities that might be a good fit for that, to please let me know as soon as possible, because and our consultants are helping us with this as well, as far as different funds, different grant opportunities, or loan opportunities that we can start aligning ourselves with for applications.
Sure. Thank you for you repeating it for me, I'm sure. Thank you.
Right now, our goal is to, this wouldn't be for construction in 2025, but it would likely be a 2026 implementation project. So this gives us some lead time to secure funding and to leverage those grants, you know, with each other.
Do you have a list of grants that you're looking for already?
Well, I mean, the NRDAR funding, which we met with someone from NRDAR today on that, potentially Fund for Lake Michigan. What's the one that's escaping my mind? NIFWF maybe?
Yep, the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, I was gonna
Yep.
mention, that's.
Yeah,
And maybe even the DNR stewardship grant, if we're talking like access
Yeah.
and or, you know.
That's what I was like, what are the, yeah, I was like, what are the ones for public access?
oh, okay.
Coastal management
So
funds,
it's just-
public access.
Right,
stuff.
and obviously Wisconsin Coastal Management, that one would be, I would think too.
Yeah, they're just a smaller.
But it's DNR stewardship?
Yes.
Okay,
Now, I don't know, and Parks often applies for that, but not. I know there has been previous years where we haven't, and I don't know if that's, like wanting submission from municipality for funding round or anything, but.
we should coordinate on that so we're not
Right,
competing against, you know, departments aren't competing against each other.
Right.
If, yeah, okay.
You have to rank which ones.
Mhm.
You have multiple
okay.
to rank those, and they're more limited in their funding than stewardship funds.
Okay, well, thanks. If other things come to mind, feel free to email me.
Did you talk to Trina? Trina you talked to?
No, Trina there's a replacement for Trina.
Oh,
So we spoke with, her name's Danielle.
okay. Did Danielle mention other US Fish and Wildlife opportunities? Because there is a US Fish and Wildlife coastal program.
Okay.
Also. That has funded restoration.
Okay.
Could you send that to me too?
Sure.
Well, the good thing is that the city has a lot of great projects that, you know, we're currently looking for funding for, so there's a lot of really great work going on.
I mean, there's the Greater Green Bay Foundation too, and then, I don't know, the Packers Foundation
Mhm,
to try to leverage some of those too.
right,
There's a lot of foundation. Associate Bank has a foundation that they do all sorts of interesting things.
Really?
Yep.
I'll
You
just- I'll look
gotta
into
find
that.
someone to sell it to.
Associated?
Yeah, well. We had a harbor commissioner who was on one of their commercial bankers, he's not anymore, but that's how I found out.
Okay.
And is it like, habitat related work or just kind of general, do you know?
It seemed more like you sell them on a project and they'll fund it to a certain amount, but it's been a while. So
Okay. All right, the next Sustainability Commission, Seth, I'm kind of stepping on your toes here.
Yeah, I'm not out the door yet.
Having a remote.
Yeah, the next Sustainability Commission meeting will be Wednesday, August 21st at 5 p.m. Unfortunately, I won't be there. I'll miss it. This will be my last one, which is a good segue to item 4 here. Just wanted to take just a couple minutes to just have some thank yous and reflections in my last meeting here. I had really hoped to be at this meeting in person, but I had a positive COVID test yesterday, so hence me being digital or virtual, super mild, thankfully. But yeah, as it is my last meeting, I've been thinking just really about the last 6 years of the 2 terms that I've served. It was almost 6.5 years ago that Rachel Westenberg and I were co-leading the Joshua and WCV task force on environmental justice. And we set up a meeting with Alder Scannell to ask him how the city of Green Bay could do more on environmental and sustainability issues. His reaction when we said, could we create a sustainability commission, was giddy, as you can picture Alder Scannell being in a meeting. and probably full of puns. And it was just a few months until this commission was up and running. It was a different time, even though it wasn't that long ago. The United States had just pulled out of the Paris Climate Accords, and the state of Wisconsin banned the usage of the words climate change. Locally, we knew that we couldn't wait for other levels of government to address many of these critical problems. Every year, we were seeing more and more heightened urgency in the International Panel on Climate Change reports and the underscored need to do everything we can to protect our environment and address climate change. And really, in just the last 6 years, I've just seen how much local government can do to protect our environment, to address climate change, to protect our water, to promote healthy and thriving habitats, to reduce waste, and to really protect the Green Bay that we love for future generations. And it's really in these last few years, I've had the privilege of meeting and working with so many people who are passionate and committed to making Green Bay a better place. There are so many advocates and experts and educators, so many people who have put their values into action and really made real results and lasting change. Above all, I've seen people who were told that we should disagree with each other on environmental issues come together to find common ground. And in really divisive times like this, I've seen proof that we really have more in common and that we all want to make our community a better place. Just 6 years into this work, this commission and the city has a lot of really great things to be proud of. From our early on accomplishments, just joining the DNR Green Tier Legacy Communities, banning PAH coal tar sealant, pavement sealants, the plastic bag collection, which I probably contributed about 500 tons of my own plastic bags to on the way to every Sustainability Commission meeting. The outreach that's been done by the members of the work group on this commission, updating the pesticide policy, all of the work done to promote the pollinator habitats, and No Mow May becoming just a regular occurrence in the city, adopting the stormwater and green infrastructure plan, the joint canvas between WCV and the city of Green Bay, knocking on 18,000 households to tell folks about the largest investment in clean energy in world history and all the consumer benefits in the Inflation Reduction Act. And of course, if I had to pick a favorite, probably adopting the Clean Energy Green Bay plan that outlines our path to 100% clean energy by 2050. And really seeing the community come together to accomplish all of these things has been nothing short of inspiring, and perhaps one of the biggest personal and professional highlights of my career. And there are so many people. I wish that I could thank everybody that we've worked with over the years, but we could be here all night, and as the last thing on the agenda, I'm sure we don't want that. But I really especially want to acknowledge Ned, who has been the vice chair from the get-go, and we got connected right away when we were creating this campaign. Jenny and Amy and Corey and Julia and Mark Walter, Alder Joey Presley. I'm excited that our time overlapped just a little bit. I especially want to acknowledge Sister Sally Ann, who is a honorary member of the commission and has probably attended more meetings than a lot of us. Thank you for your constant presence. Previous members, Deb Hutchison and John Art, and Alder Andy Scannell and Alder Mark Stoyer. Mayor Schmidt, who said yes to the idea of creating this commission. Mayor Genrich, who has really made this a huge priority of his administration. Celestine Jeffries, who staffed it in the early years as chief of staff and really helped support us getting this going. Alex Galt, who just joined the team, and especially Melissa Schmitz, who day in and day out really does a lot of this really crucial and important work. And since she started here, has really made Green Bay the leader that it is. And now we can, look at Green Bay as really a poster child for how local government can be a leader in addressing climate change and protecting our environment. And just as we've learned from so many other local communities, we've also set an example for other local communities, and we can all be a part of this solution. And I think now more than ever, We really need local governments and local communities to continue to lead the way. I'm just incredibly grateful and humbled by my time on this commission, and I really do think it's the thing that I will miss most about living here. But I really know that it's in the best and most capable of hands, and that the work is just getting started. I can't wait to see what y'all do in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. And you'll always have a big fan just a few hours down the road. So thanks again, everybody. And with that, we can entertain a motion to adjourn.
Oh, no, no, no. We're not going to adjourn quite yet, Seth.
Okay, Ned.
Well, I want to go first then. Seth, that was really well said. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you. I can't believe it's been over 8 years since, wow, it has, hasn't it? 6 years, over 6 years. Oh, it hasn't been over 8. That's why I couldn't believe it. Okay. But since we, started doing those organizational meetings and getting things going and rolling, and I have appreciated your leadership as our president the entire time. I can speak personally. I've come up with lots of ideas that I've thrown at you over the years, or thrown at you and Melissa, and you've been a good filter and a good kind of way to reflect, a good reflecting mirror, I guess, to say like, okay, well, that's a cool idea. How about slow down or think about it this way or whatnot. So I appreciate the way you've managed the position with grace and thoughtfulness. And certainly we've shared experiences outside of the commission time, and those were wonderful as well. So I like creating things with you, Seth, and I'm definitely going to miss you as a person and miss working with you on these wonderful things. But hey, the work you've put in has a good thing going. So keep up the good work down there, and we appreciate you up here.
Thanks, Ned. We'll have to find another Alpine Valley show to keep our streak going. It's a good halfway point. All right, well, we can entertain a motion to adjourn.
Nobody wants to, I guess. I'll make a motion to adjourn and thank you for your leadership, Seth.
Thank you, Seth. I hope to bump into you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Amy. All right, we have a first. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Go Ned.
Nope. Either way.
All right, Ned, all those in favor say aye.
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 I think there's a lot of nays on this one.
Do we have anything else? Or is the audio not working in the room?
No, I didn't.
It works.
Okay. Did you all say aye?
I think so.
Okay, sorry, I can't hear. All right.
I don't.
Those opposed say nay. All right. Well, the ayes have it. Adjourn. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much, Seth.
Take care of yourself, Seth.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.